Okay, so I'm going to show you how to put these face masks together. And so we found in light of COVID-19 that face masks were definitely in high shortage and that they were very hard to find. So we thought we would look around to see of other options and other alternatives that we could use to be able to help those stay safe. And so we found someone who had actually printed a face mask frame and was using it as a face mask. So we looked into it. We actually had a friend who had a 3D printer, and so she found the mold for them, or the pattern for them basically, and helped us 3D print these face masks frames. They're super cool. They're very thin, very lightweight. They're plastic. And she printed us 3 different sizes. So we have large, medium, and then small. So depending on how much coverage you need to cover your nose and your mouth, depends on what size best fits you. So I'm going to teach you how to put it together. Now, in order to use this face mask frame, what happens is that you have these 2 ends. There are actually holes here. So you have the holes and the little sides that you could use. And you place something between these holes, and you can either wrap it around your ears or you can choose to wrap it around your head. Now what we chose, because there's a shortage of elastic as well, you can use anything from string to yarn or whatever else that you can possibly find. We actually took some old bungee cords and cut them up and pulled the bungee out of them. Some of the bungee cords had little beads in them, so obviously those didn't work out, but we did find some that had strips. But what we're using here, actually, my husband had some old bike tire that he started to cut up, and we are able to use for little strings to be able to attach. So he cut them up in little strips for us. And so the shorter ones we'll probably be able to use to wrap around your ears to make your mask easier to take on and off more frequently. And then we have longer ones that he cut so that we could use these to actually put the mask on over your head so that it's more snug, more secure, it stays on better. That's the mask that I use. This is my mask here. I use one that actually wraps around my head. So I have the top 2 connected here with the same piece of rubber. It definitely stretches pretty good. I stretch it over my head and it stays on very well. And the other one that I'm going to show you how to put together is going to be the one that you actually wrap around your ears. And so we can try that one. Now, as far as fabric goes, what you do with these reusable mask frames is you find a piece of fabric. And what we found, actually we found an article with Business Insider of a company that's actually making face masks out of the Scott brand shop towels. They were realizing also that the face mask was something that the public needed to do to be able to stay safe, but also realized that medical grade face masks needed to be saved for the medical field. But that left us with trying to figure out what kind of face mask we needed to use to protect ourselves. They had done a lot of trial and error. They had tested a lot of different kinds of fabric and a lot of different alternatives. What they did find after a while was that the Scott brand shop towels, these blue shop towels that you basically get like at AutoZone, or you get at O'Reilly's or any other auto parts store. Sometimes they have them at Walmart as well. But this particular brand was filtering out 95% of the particles, and it was doing far better than the regular cotton masks that they were producing beforehand. So they started to use these as a filter instead of just going straight cotton mask. They started actually manufacturing the blue towel mask. So I have that link from Business Insider that I can send you, or you'll find it below. But that's exactly what I'm using for these face masks for myself. What I'm doing though, because I use a medium mask, my face is a little smaller than the large mask. So I take the blue shop towel, I fold it in half, and then I cut it in half, because it's really all I kind of need. And so then I fold it in half again. Ooh, so that doesn't blow away. I fold it in half again to make my face mask cover. Now this is easier to make as a one-time use. You know, usually when you wear a mask, you wear it once when you're out and then you throw it away. But trying to find your regular face masks and throwing them away, sometimes they only come in packs of 8, packs of 10. They're definitely harder to find, and trying to throw them away, you almost don't want to throw it away, even though you should, because you can't find them. But this is easier to throw away. It's a towel. You can find these at, like I said, any automotive shop or Walmart. And so I fold this in half. And then when I place this over my face, I actually do it diagonally because it fits a little better. So I put the towel over my face, and then I put the frame over my face as well, on top of the towel, and it hugs my face. So that way you're out and about, you're definitely covered, and then when you're done, you take the frame off, take the towel off your face, and you throw it away. Only to do it again the next day. Now my husband, he uses a large mask. The large mask doesn't fit very well on a half towel. It just barely makes it. But you also have to remember, you have to account for the little part that's going to poke out of the mask too. So he can't use a half towel. He actually uses a full towel and folds it in a super special way. He's still trying to figure out what's the best way to fold it. He hasn't quite figured that out just yet, but he folds it in different ways to be able to be a little more comfortable, to be able to see up and over the mask a little bit. But you can figure out what tuck wear and fold wear that makes you comfortable but still makes you feel secure, and the towel is completely against your face to help you feel more safe. But let me put this one together. This one, like I said, is the over the head kind of mask. I'm going to put this one together so you guys can watch. I'm going to make this an over the ear mask, and then show you the differences in how they fit. So stay tuned. So how we put these together, like I said, I've already put this one together. This one is one that goes around your head. And what I'm going to put together is one that goes around your ears. I usually cut these about 8 or 9 inches long, maybe sometimes 10 inches long, depending on what you feel more comfortable, but the longer the better, because then you're always able to adjust it. So what you do to do one that goes around your ears is that you just take it through the hole. You just tie a little knot at the end, big enough so that it doesn't come through the hole again. Make sure it's tight, make sure that you've got enough that it doesn't come undone. That knot doesn't work very well. Tie a knot big enough and tight enough that it doesn't come back through the hole. So when you're pulling it, it definitely doesn't come back through. So you're going to take the same end of that and do that to the bottom on the same side. You're going to take that, put it through the hole, tie a knot that's big enough to hold and doesn't unravel and doesn't come through that hole. So then you have one on one side. You're going to take another strip of rubber or string or yarn or whatever you decide to use to hold your mask on, and you are going to do the same thing to the other side. Tie a knot that doesn't come through that hole. Bring it back around, put it through the hole on the same side, just below it. Tie another knot. And you're good to go. Now, what's neat about these masks is if it's too much room, like it may be that these strips are too long, that they don't fit behind your ear very well, you can always pull the knot forward, and that's what these little things are for, is you can actually take them and wrap them around it so that it pulls this in and makes it shorter. If you want it tighter, you have the ability to pull it forward and wrap it around so that it makes that little strap smaller. So it's totally adjustable. You don't have to have the perfect length of rubber to be able to go around your ears, or even in this case your head. I do that with mine. I put this part around my head and I find that there's some space in between my nose and my face. So I'll take these and I'll wrap it around once, and that usually, on both sides, that usually fixes my problem of it being too loose and coming off. That usually makes it nice and snug and it stays on my face. Now next, I'm going to show you how to put it on with the towel and what it looks like and how you can adjust it while it's on your face. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how my mask works, the one that I have that goes actually around my head. So then I take this top strap and this bottom strap and I put it around my head so it fits over my mouth. I'm gonna do this the first time without the towel so you can see how and where this needs to sit on your face for it to have a good, secure hold. So what I do at first is actually, I probably need to have my hair back so that it doesn't get in the way, is tell me hair back. Put this, both straps up over my head. So I take the bottom one first and I put it over my head so that the bottom strap goes around my neck basically. And then I take the top strap. Now this bottom part of the mask is really supposed to sit right underneath your chin so that when it goes over, you can see it goes over my nose and over my mouth. So it sits at the bottom of your chin. So you take the top strap and you pull it around your head to where you feel comfortable. And voila. Now, ideally when you're wearing this, the blue towel is supposed to sit on the inside of the mask. So it does fit a little better around your head. It does stay on a little better. It doesn't hurt your ears. I know that I've seen a couple of different products that have come out to be able to help save your ears because your ears get a little irritated with those ones that go around your ears. But for one that goes over your head, especially if you're going to wear it quite a long time, it definitely holds that snug and it definitely pulls it against your face. Now again, if this isn't tight enough, if you want it more snug, you're always more than welcome to pull on the strap and tuck it behind one of these little loops here and loop it around these little edges so that it pulls it a little tighter and you're able to wrap it around so that you get more of a snug fit. Now let me show you what it looks like with the towel. Now, I usually put it around my neck first and then I get my towel. So for a medium mask, for my face, I know that I can use a half a towel. Basically I took a full sheet towel and I cut it in half. And then I fold that in half because it only works if the towel is actually doubled up. And I take a little corner and I fold it down, and this is the part that's gonna go over my nose. So this part goes over my nose first. I put it over my nose and I put it a little higher up and I push it down onto my face. I pull the mask up over the towel and then I take this part and I put it over my head. Adjust the straps, and it allows you to kind of shift and move the mask a little bit to make sure that everything is underneath the frame, that there are no gaps in the frame at all. You're able to move it around and adjust it when you're actually looking into the mirror. And see, I have got these flaps, so sometimes I just kind of roll them under a little bit. I don't push them underneath the frame because that'll create a gap, but I just kind of roll them under, or you could even cut them off if it's just too much for you. And that serves as a temporary mask. That is how the one over your head is supposed to fit. Now, the one that I showed you how to put together earlier is a large mask, so I'm going to have my husband sit down in the chair and he can show you how that mask works. So we're going to show you the one that works over the ear, where this is the one that goes over your head. And then when you're done with the one that goes over your head, when you're out doing your grocery shopping, you're done, you're home, you want to take your mask off, you just simply remove it the same way that you put it on. You take it off your head, pull it down, you throw this part away, and then you still have the frame. It's always a good thing to wipe the frame down, to sanitize it, to put Lysol on it, to wash it, because it is plastic. It should be able to withstand that. And then when you're ready to go out again, you find another brand new towel, you fold it the same way you like, you put it on, and then you put your mask on again. So that's how the overhead mask works. I'm gonna have my husband show you how the one over your ear works. So my husband uses a larger mask, and he folds his in a certain way. He has to use a whole towel instead of the half towel like I do with the medium and small masks. So this is how he folds his when he's using a large mask. He folds it in half. And then he folds it up by about a third. Cuts that little piece off. Now, this is enough that's being cut off that it could also be used to cover a small mask. It could be used to cover a small mask. See this piece? So for children, for smaller people who have smaller faces, that would be the perfect size. And then the larger mask, he cuts off the ends or the corners. Be sure you leave about 1.5 inches maybe between the corners, because this part actually is going to be what's used for your nose. And then when he puts it on, he's going to put it on so that it layers like this.
So now that I'm done, I got my two. I put them together just like so. I put this over my left ear, then put this one over my right ear, and then I adjust this to however I want it to fit over my face.
And again, if it's not tight enough, you're always able to adjust it and be able to pull these forward and be able to wrap it around the little ends to be able to make it tighter. This form of the mask is easier to use if you're frequently taking your mask on and off, to be able to help remove it instead of it going over your head. It's just tucked behind your ears like a regular traditional mask.